The game of baseball is really a game that is very difficult to stay consistent year in and through year out. Playing 162 games, there's a lot of wiggle room to be great or to be bad at times during the season. The best of the best are able to stay consistent year in and year out, but these 7 players were once great players last year who are now terrible this year, or just not really as good. This video, I'm giving you the 7 most disappointing players of 2026 in the MLB. Before we get into it, hit that subscribe button, hit like button, and comment down below some of your most disappointing players. Let's get right into it with the first player being Paul Skeens. Last year, Paul Skeens was the Cy Young winner. 1.97 ERA, 0.95 WHIP, 7.6 WAR. This year, it's been a completely different story for Mr. Skeens. He has had a 3.88 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, and a 2.1 WAR. If you look at his Savant page, it's really just weird as he's just getting hit harder this year and compared to last year, while the rest of his numbers are kind of the same. In my opinion, I'm not very worried about Paul Skeens, and I think it's just a little bit of getting unlucky. His xERA is still great. X batting average, expected slug is all still great, just a little worse than last year, which makes sense because there's more of a book on him, even though he's still a great pitcher. You can see his sliders getting hit a lot harder and just not great, and his changeup has fallen off a cliff this year. Overall, next year, I still expect Paul Skeens to be a great pitcher, even though this year he's fallen off a bit. I just think he'll get a little less unlucky next year, even though he has fallen off just a bit. I'm not very worried about Paul Skeens, and he's still going to be a great pitcher for years to come. While Paul Skeens may just be unlucky this year, there are many other players who haven't and are just having a bad year. Next is Roman Anthony. What a weird year it has been for the future superstar Roman Anthony, as many expected him to be the leader of this Boston offense, but it hasn't happened. He's had that weird finger injury which only expected him to be on a short IL stint, and it has now gone into him missing 3+ months. Even before that, Roman Anthony was not playing his best. He had a .7 WAR, only a .675 OPS, and 1 home run with 5 RBIs. It's not like he only played 10 games. He played around 40 to 30 games, and he was not producing. Last year, he had 8 home runs, 32 RBIs, at .859 OPS with 3 WAR, and only like 80 games. That was on pace to be one of the best players in the league. Well, this year, he has just not been as good when he was on the field, and he has been off the field for an extended period of time. While I'm giving him a break because it's been injury, we can see he could save his season when he comes back and maybe helps the Boston Red Sox go on a deep playoff run in October, which would really help his reputation, as the Boston media has ripped him to shreds for this injury, as many believe he is milking it and he's not really that hurt. But if you look at his numbers, it's all basically the same. I'm not very worried about Roman Anthony. He has the talent to be one of the best hitters in the league. He's gotten comparisons last year to Juan Soto, and he has great plate discipline and great bat speed to help him be a great player for the future. Next is a player I'm actually worried about in Freddie Peralta. These Savant pages are absolutely groundbreaking to me, and his stats back it up. This year, a 5.33 ERA, 1.5 WHIP, and a negative .6 WAR between the Mets and the Rays. Last year for the Brewers, he's one of the best pitchers in the league. 2.7 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, and a 5.5 WAR. The Mets traded for him, wanting him to be the front end of their rotation, be the ace to help them make the playoffs. Well, this has gone completely downhill, and the Mets are one of the worst teams, and they traded him at the deadline to the Rays. And for the Rays, he has not been good either. And if you're not good for the Rays as a pitcher, there's something wrong. If you look at his Savant pages, he's not throwing the ball as hard, just a little bit. He's getting hit much harder. His hard hit percentage is almost half of what it was last year, half worse. And that being said, he's striking out a lot less guys. He's not getting whiffs, and he's not getting chased, and he's just overall been a completely worse pitcher this year in all aspects of the game, and the stats back it up. Maybe it's that Brewers magic that has left him once he left the Brewers, and the Brewers knew something that other teams didn't. But this is just a weird season because Freddie Peralta is going to be a free agent this offseason, and it's going to be very interesting to see what type of contract he gets, because if they're basing it off this year, he's basically a minor league player. He's a negative WAR player, doesn't bring anything to the table, but the past 6 or 5 years of his career, he's been one of the most consistent pitchers in the league, and we'll see how teams value him this offseason as they look to give him a contract, because it's been rumored during this season that Freddie Peralta wanted $200 million this offseason, and I don't think he's going to get anywhere close to that after the season he's had this year, because everything has just fallen off a cliff, and he's just a completely different pitcher this year. He's letting a lot more guys on base. He's getting a lot more hard hits, and his stats are basically double what it was last year. His ERA, his WAR is terrible. Basically a 6-win drop-off this year, and is absolutely ridiculous to see. Next, another pitcher who hasn't been as bad as Freddie Peralta, but was one of the biggest acquisitions in the offseason as well, is Framber Valdez of the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers brought in Framber Valdez to be that steady number 2 behind Tarek Skubal, and Tarek Skubal has left, and Framber Valdez has not been that type of player. This year is a 4.26 ERA, 1.39 WHIP, a 1.2 WAR, compared to last year, a 3.6 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, and a 3.8 WAR. And not only the stats are worse, Framber Valdez has been one of the weirdest players, dating back to last year even, and this year. He's been in a lot of controversies. He's hitting guys on purpose, getting ejected left and right, and just having problems in the clubhouse and with his catchers as of late. This year, Framber Valdez is not getting as many Ks he was last year, not getting the whiffs, not getting the chase. And if you're a pitcher not getting strikeouts, chase, and whiffs, you're not going to be successful. And that's what Framber Valdez has built himself off, getting ground balls and strikeouts. As you see last year, he was getting a 65% chase rate, or 65% percentile chase rate. This year he's in the 50s. Last year he was getting a 50 percentile whiff rate. This year he's 13%. It's just crazy to me. And this was all karma building up for Framber Valdez after what he did last year to his catcher, just plunking him basically and throwing the wrong pitch that the catcher called. It's just, this guy is an absolute head case right now, and the Tigers have to figure it out, because it's been multiple times that he's gone getting shelled and just decides, I'm just going to hit this guy on purpose so I get ejected and don't have to pitch anymore. He's done it to the Red Sox, the Mariners, and you name it. Framber Valdez has done it, and he needs to get his head on straight before things get even worse, because this is not a terrible year as a pitcher, but he's getting paid good money to produce better than this, and he is not. And the Tigers, if they want to make the playoffs, they need Framber Valdez to be the Framber Valdez old and just be an absolute beast on the mound and eat innings. The next player, another offseason acquisition who's now making $60 million a year, is Kyle Tucker. Did Kyle Tucker get changed by the money? It really seems so. This year, 11 home runs, 54 RBIs, 718 OPS, 0.6 WAR, compared to last year, 22 home runs, 73 RBIs, 841 OPS, and 4.5 WAR. And this year, he has much more protection in his lineup playing for the Dodgers, where he's not one of the scariest hitters on the team anymore like he was for the Cubs last year, so he should be getting better pitches to hit, and he is getting better pitches to hit, but he's not producing. As you see, compared to last year, he's not barreling the ball as much anymore as he used to. Not getting launch angle sweet spot. His bat speed has dipped, and he's chasing more, striking out more, and walking less. Kyle Tucker, you are a little bit of a loser, signing with the Dodgers and then playing this bad. He's getting paid $60 million to be a half-win player. That is absolutely terrible. Kyle Tucker, you have been changed by the money, my friend, like Anthony Rendon and many others have in the past. Well, he's not as bad as Anthony Rendon has been. He's still playing pretty bad. A below-league average hitter, only half WAR this year. It's just an absolute mess over there. But the Dodgers could care less, because it doesn't matter. They're going to win the World Series this year, and that money does not really affect them. So good for you, Kyle Tucker, making $60 million a year to be trash, which is something I wish I could do, but unfortunately I can't. But yeah, Kyle Tucker has been pretty bad this year, and the only explanation is that he has not cared as much because he got paid $60 million this year, and honestly can't blame him. The next player had one of the best seasons in the league last year, hitting 60 home runs, and now has been absolutely terrible this year. It's Kyle Raleigh, and he's been probably the poster. Him and the next guy are the poster face of most disappointing players this year. As you can see, Kyle Raleigh is not squaring up the ball at all. He's in the first percentile. He's striking out a lot, fifth percentile, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. He's not hitting the ball as hard this year, and everything has just been terrible for him this year. Last year was probably one of the most biggest flukes in MLB history. He hit 60 home runs, 125 RBIs, 8-win player, 950 OPS. This year, 12 home runs, 43 RBIs, 570 OPS, negative .1 WAR. Is this the biggest drop-off from season to season? It might be. Cal Raleigh has been absolutely terrible, and it shows in the Mariners' record, because the Mariners, who were one game away from the World Series last year, are currently 8 games under 500, outside looking in, probably not making the playoffs. I would put money on them not making the playoffs. And it's all relies on Cal Raleigh. He's not slugging. He's not hitting the ball hard. He's striking out 1,000,000% of the time. He's not scoring the ball up. It's absolutely ridiculous how someone can hit 60 home runs one season and then the next season hit 12 and have a 570 OPS and be a negative player to their team. If they had me out there just doing nothing, sitting on the bench, I would be a 0.0 WAR player, being better than Cal Raleigh. And you watching this have been more productive than Cal Raleigh has this season, which is absolutely amazing to think about, considering he hit 60 home runs last year and was second in MVP voting, and many thought he should have won MVP over Aaron Judge. The next player, final player, is similar to Cal Raleigh, another team who was a great team last year and struggling this year, mainly because of this player. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. last year hit 23 home runs, 84 RBIs, 848 OPS, 4.5 WAR, while this season, 7 home runs, 46 RBIs, a 695 OPS, and a 1-win player. And guess how much Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just got paid? $500 million by the Toronto Blue Jays. He got that money, and now he says, I'm not producing anymore, sorry. As he was probably the best player in the playoffs last year and almost led the Toronto Blue Jays to the World Series championship, pushing the Dodgers to Game 7. Maybe it's a World Series hangover. We won't know. It's really a weird season for Vladdy as well, compared like a lot of these other guys, as he has 0 home runs at home, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you'd have told me that, I would have told you you're crazy, and I want what you're having. But looking into the numbers, he's not hitting the ball as hard. His average exit velo is down. His barrel percentage is down a lot. Hard hit percentage is down a lot as well. And it's basically he's not hitting the ball hard, and he's popping them up. He's striking out and chasing more than he has last year, not walking as much. And that's a sign as a player who's really struggling and trying to get through it. He's chasing more pitches, just trying to make contact, compared to last year where he was patient and getting his pitch to hit to be a very productive player. And it's really interesting because next year is going to tell a lot. Vladdy has been sneakily inconsistent throughout his career. He hasn't been one of the most consistent players compared to guys like Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, other top players in the league that Vladdy has been compared to in his career. And next year is going to be a make-or-break season for Vladimir Guerrero to see if his contract is really one of the worst in the league or if he can make up for it and produce at the level he has and get the Blue Jays back to the playoffs, back to the World Series where they just once were 1 year ago, where many of these players in this video were once great players last year and this year have been terrible. So it's really next year is make or break for these guys for the rest of their career. If they have 2 bad seasons in a row, it's going to be hard to dig themselves out of that. And thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm bringing out baseball content every single day. Reminder, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment down below who your most disappointing players are of the 2026 MLB season. And tomorrow I will be releasing the most surprising and breakout candidates from the 2026 MLB season.